All Sonic all the time. It's Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host Evan, joined as always by my co-hosts Lauren and Bruce, and today we are continuing with our next part of Fleetway Sonic the Comic.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any Tails comics this week, so I guess you guys might be relieved by that.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I actually like some of the next few of those, but it's fine. We're doing, like I said, all Sonic all the time. We are starting here with Power of the Chaos Emeralds, Kitching and Elson. Sonic and the gang have finally captured Dr. Robotnik, but will this victory last? No.
No, of course not.
Yeah, it's actually faster than I expected, but there's still some lasting ramifications, so I'm not really mad.
Sure. I mean,
It's
I
not like
wouldn't
it
have
means
minded.
nothing, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded oh, they have Robotnik for longer, but they don't make it pointless that they had him.
Yeah, he's in a big cell that they got here in underground Emerald Hill location. If this is even, I know we did disagreed on whether this was even at Emerald Hill, but
I don't know if it's made clear. It's their
That's
secret
good.
base, though. I do like what they do with Robotnik while he is behind bars here. How nobody wants to talk to him, but they're like, well, might as well try to get some information out of
Someone
him.
has to talk to him, so let's send Porker in there.
Poor Porker. And this is a great exchange, too. He tries to be polite. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
I hope you slept well, Doctor. And he's like, oh, yes, I had a wonderful dream about what I was going to do to you when I escape.
Due to me?
yeah. Well, and, appropriately, it's like the fact that they're sending in Porker Lewis, it's like, oh, it's Lewis, they say it's his turn, so I assume they've been taking shifts on this.
Right,
It's his
yeah.
turn. I know what's going to happen. He's going to be responsible for, no, he's not actually. It's not his fault.
No, it's not at all.
Now, he makes a pretty miserable attempt at interrogation, but I can hardly blame him for that.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't expect Porker Lewis to be the best at interrogation.
And I expect Robotnik to be pretty resistant, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it depends on the Eggman. This one, though, with, basically just pure evil brain, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely this version.
But evil or not, he does have one ally on his side, and it's because nobody explained anything to Knuckles last time about what was going on, so Knuckles comes to save him.
It's Knuckles.
This kind of caught me by surprise. Knuckles is, unusually committed. He, goes all the way from Angel Island over to this base to break out Robotnik.
It is interesting they're writing Knuckles right now as a true Eggman ally.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as he knows, this guy was still on his side, but it's a little weird just because... Well, I don't know. Robotnik hasn't done as much to Angel Island at this point as he had in, say, Sonic 3, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that we know of, at least.
Yeah.
I'm not objecting to it. It just surprised me.
Yeah, no, it's not bad writing or anything. It's a little,
It's different.
It's interesting, yeah.
But yeah, Robotnik grabs Lewis and is, threatening to kill him and is like, give me the Chaos Emerald, Sonic. And Sonic
Lewis just does.
Yeah, he kind of has to comply. He
Yeah.
only... We still have there's only 6 of them, in this batch. They are properly colored now. They were just all green before.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah, I guess the coloration thing was just they retconned it, or it was a mistake, maybe.
I'm guessing it was just an error.
But they are actually very soon going to explain why there's 6, which I appreciate.
Yes, I do appreciate that they do that.
Indeed. And they really do give them to him, which... I mean, I don't know. I feel like when it's as simple as the guy with no weapons is holding another guy, it feels like there should be more Sonic can do.
I feel well...
I guess if he's, threatening to just, snap his fucking neck, but...
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Way it seems.
That's the thing. Robotnik is a literal gorilla of a man. He probably could just, snap Lewis in half.
He does have really beefy arms in this comic.
Yeah.
I think normally Sonic might be a little gutsier, but I think also the fact that Knuckles is here, he's like, oh, whatever, I'll make it up later, which he does.
I guess he can't really botch it, so yeah. But, yeah, so they give him the Emerald. Sonic tells Knuckles, Robotnik is a liar, but he's like, I don't care. But, we instantly, we don't waste time for them to leave. We make chase as soon as, Lewis is safe.
Smart.
So everybody's heading back toward Angel Island again. It's like, we've done a sub-Sonic 3 adaptation where we went there, we went back, we went there, we went back, and now we're going there again.
There is a quick mention here on their way back between Knuckles and Robotnik where They're like, okay, it's time to return the emeralds to Angel Island, which really threw me through the loop originally. I'm like, wait a minute, what? This site is also from Angel Island?
Yeah, aren't there
Yeah.
14 Chaos Emeralds from Angel Island? But they actually, Sonic and Tails managed to shoot Robotnik down, by which I mean Sonic shoots them with his body.
Effective. I mean, that
It
works
is
really
effective,
well
yeah.
in like Sonic X.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's like, they crash and they're like, do you think they survived, Sonic? And it's like, come on, man. Instantly, Knuckles bursts out of there and attacks him.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
And I was wrong last time. There is one more appearance of the Insta Shield. Knuckles takes a swing at Sonic and he blocks it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll have to see if it shows up even again.
Yeah,
But I
now
guess this
I'm
is,
like, keep an eye on it.
yeah, technically, it's shown up twice, which means it's no longer just a one-off. Maybe
Right,
it's still
They
part
can
of
whip it
the...
out whenever they want.
They do
They
even
also-
explain it.
They do a little bit of an
They do
Archie thing
explain
because
it, yeah.
Sonic says, I vibrate the air molecules in front of me at Sonic speed.
Yeah.
What is-
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay,
better than
it's
nothing,
better-
I guess.
It's also better than him vibrating his entire body through a wall.
No, it's still not
True.
that bad, but still silly.
I mean, yeah, it is silly.
But yes, Sonic finally has the upper hand over Knuckles. He overwhelms him with speed because he's fast, but Knuckles counters with one of the famous Angel Island traps, how like in Sonic 3, Knuckles will hit a button and wind comes and blows it away, or maybe he turns the lights off, or maybe a bridge falls, or how about giant stone hands coming out of the ground?
I don't mind this. I mean, you can come up with something new and wacky.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not saying it
Same
shouldn't
idea.
be there, it's just like, that's not Sonic 3.
Anything can be Sonic 3 if you try hard enough, I guess.
I could see this possibly being...
Yeah, I don't see why this couldn't be a trap on Angel Island.
It's just weird, that's all I'm saying.
Sure, it is weird.
But yeah, this gives Knuckles and Robotnik a chance to escape, and instead of pursuing them, Sonic decides to pretend to be dead, seemingly just to fuck with Tails.
Yeah.
It's true that playing dead specifically, though, that is just to mess with Tails. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, the playing
Yeah.
dead part is...
It's Sonic the Comic Sonic, and just have to learn to deal with it.
yeah.
But we don't have Hidden Palace exactly in this. Instead, we have the Temple of Chaos with 6 emeralds.
Yep.
Yep.
We're going to get some more
Knuckles-
now.
Alright,
Okay,
more time.
Knuckles says that there were 6 emeralds originally, but they got split into 12, but you still need the missing 7th gray emerald to control their power.
Yeah,
Which
I guess the Gray Emerald was specifically made later on as a control method.
I
There's
guess,
nothing to
and
say it was
also
made.
it's not split.
No, I'm assuming the Gray Emerald wasn't... If it was made, it was made after the emeralds were split.
If it was made, yeah. I didn't see any indication that it was, though.
No, that was just kind of my own inference.
Who knows? Honestly, I don't dislike this because I always like sort of doing weird twists.
Yeah, the weird twist.
Established
Yeah.
lore, but this does raise more questions that it answers. Because it was the Gray Emerald made later.
Right.
I didn't assume that, but even if that's not true, then why wasn't it split along with all the others? And for that matter, why were any of them split? And the really funny thing about this is some writer decided, let's not do the Master Emerald. Instead, we're going to do the Gray Emerald and then split the other emeralds. Like, if you just did the Master Emerald, it would have been simpler that you had
This
to
would have
do all
been
this stuff.
it would have been a lot simpler if we just had a Master Emerald.
Well, and there is a Master Emerald in this just later, and I don't really remember
Oh
how
no!
Jesus.
Honestly, I'm excited though.
Yeah, but Robotnik has a machine to simplify all of this, and it puts the 12 emeralds back into being 6.
Alright.
Wait, I just had a thought. If the split 6 emeralds absorb evil, do the ones on Angel Island absorb good?
That's an interesting thought.
Maybe
I
that's
don't-
why that's how they work.
I don't know how this shit works, man.
That is an interesting thought, though.
Anyway, Robotnik finally drops the ruse and betrays Knuckles, and absorbs all of the Chaos power to become the Supreme High Robotnik from Adventures of Sonic.
Oh my god, I forgot about the Supreme High Robotnik. I just
Heck,
wrote Super
yes.
Robotnik.
I mean, he's just giant. He
yeah.
doesn't have any of the
Well, he does have
visual
some
flair.
no, but he does have some chaos powers,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
it's
something like that.
it's more like sort of the Archie style of when you absorb Emerald power and you
Yeah,
become Energic or whatever.
yeah, that's a good
Although without the
description.
design
This is
change.
Robotnik.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know. It's hard to say because he used a machine. I'm not sure if this counts as a super state or not. I
no,
don't
I
think
doubt
it
it.
does.
I doubt it counts as a super state.
Well, and the nature of super forms in this comic is a whole weird thing unto itself, so I don't even know.
Sure,
True.
fair enough.
Sonic and Tails are arriving too late to stop this, and Robotnik uses his new power to turn Tails into glass.
And then
Jesus.
Sonic is like, "Oh, can't let him break because that would give me bad luck." You know, that's the
That
reason.
yeah, that's the only reason you can't break it.
Yeah, the real reason is because he'd be stuck that way for many issues, having his mind manipulated by Naugus.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
But unfortunately, we have to remember that this is Sonic the comic, and we only have a couple pages left. So Knuckles reveals he had the Gray Emerald this whole time.
He just whips the gray emerald out of his ass.
I am not so mad about this because,
No,
well, for multiple
yeah,
reasons. One, wow, this is like a huge Knuckles W. Like,
that's true, and we can
he
appreciate
actually
a
saw
Knuckles
this
dub.
coming.
We
I
can
underestimated him, which
we
like
can
never
appreciate
happens.
a Knuckles dub.
It is not so much that he had the emerald the whole time. It's just the abruptness of how he had the emerald the whole time. He points it at him once, which I know it's the controller, but it's whatever. And then it's just over. It's just problem solved in 2 panels.
There.
Knuckles wouldn't have let this happen. It wouldn't. He would have stopped this beforehand if he couldn't have just whipped it out and stopped it. So I know it's kind of anticlimactic. I get what you're saying from like a writing standpoint, but I don't know. I was just so happy that Knuckles actually saw this coming to a degree.
No, Fleetway Knuckles is good. I was saying this before, and this is demonstrating it. So that much is true, and he does not. They do clarify that he's not dead. Eggman is
Right.
just they sent him back down to Earth or Mobius.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to remember that Earth and Mobius are separate in this continuity, so I can't call it Earth.
True. Yeah.
But we finally sort of make up with Knuckles. It's not. They're not. We're not friends yet, but
They're not going to always fight each other the moment they see each other.
yeah. But Knuckles is also he's not really interested in the fight against Eggman. He's mostly interested in Angel Island and in waiting for his people to return from the stars.
Oh boy, we have Echidnas coming back.
They're in space.
Hey, at least they're not in a fucking different dimension this time.
Or dead.
Or dead. And I forgot about that.
I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
they're dead, I
this
guess.
is-
It's not like we know if they're coming back.
No, that's fair.
No, I don't actually know, but that's interesting. Again, I like how they're playing with the elements here.
Sure, yeah.
But Sonic and Tails go home, and that's the end of the story. Kind of wish that we had gotten to do that one last week. It would have been a little more of a actual conclusion, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I don't know. I like it okay, other than the ending being too fast as usual.
Yeah, it's not a bad story.
I think it's a solid introduction to Knuckles and Angel Island and some lore tidbits.
Yeah.
As far as Sonic 3 adaptations go, it feels a little less jank than how Archie had to split it into multiple parts.
Yeah.
But next up, we have Robotnik's Revenge, still kitching in Elson. Robotnik wages war on Sonic's home base, leaving the heroes with little time to escape safely. Their only recourse may be a certain red echidna. Yeah, Robotnik got the base location, and he's headed right for them.
Yeah,
At least, they don't keep questioning whether or not he has the base location like they do in Archie for like a decade.
Yeah.
no, that made no sense in Archie, honestly.
He had so many points where he had a spy in a knothole. Come on. At least here, Eggman's like, I have the location, let's fucking go.
And he uses the big arm.
Yes, he does.
That is cool, yeah. I don't know why the drill robots from Marble Garden have faces, though. That's kind of weird.
Oh, you're right. That is unsettling. They have eyebrows.
But I really like how they've got like a plot thread that's going through all these stories, because this is follow up from the capture. Even though he did escape so quickly, there's still something
Right.
of consequence.
Yeah, we're not wasting time here. And indeed, we're not even leaving Knuckles behind for very long because he's, still on Angel Island, but some of Robotnik's trooper bots are here as well. And they're like, hey, where's Robotnik? And Knuckles is like, fuck you, you're dead now. But we've got a bigger threat to conquer, which is that the Death Egg is here and still being rebuilt.
Yep,
Yep.
Which Death Egg is this?
got to be the Death Egg too.
This is the Death Egg 2. I thought so.
Okay. They don't say two, but
Yeah.
yeah, the heroes are under attack, and they're having trouble leaving because the file transfer speeds are slow, because this is the 90s. Because
Uh,
they're trying to
they're-
move AI Kintober onto a smaller, more portable Nicole. Yeah, so Sonic and Johnny are fighting, trying to buy Lewis the time he needs to get that over, but they're not having a good time, because Eggman busts through the wall of the cave.
I like how he explains. I really should be overseeing like the launch of the Death Egg, but I couldn't help but immediately attack
course.
you.
Well, yeah, he knows the
is so in character.
location. Oh, yeah, he knows the location. He's going to lead the attack.
Well, and I like, that seeing all this stuff getting destroyed. It's like, we're not going to be coming back here, really.
Right.
This is a shakeup again.
Yeah.
And, we've never, it's like the closest thing that Archie ever had to this was the retaking of Mobotropolis, and even that got reversed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic and Johnny can't really damage Big Arm very much, which I guess sort of fits with the game. He doesn't hit it on the cockpit, so I guess that fits with Sonic 3.
I thought Sonic did try to hit the cockpit.
Well,
I guess
it
not,
looks
yeah.
like he's hitting just the underbelly of it.
Yeah, he's hitting the belly.
Because you have to hit specifically the glass part. And in Sonic 3, that is
Right.
like the smallest hitbox of any boss, so.
Mm-hmm.
But he ends up hitting the ceiling and burying it under rubble, so that's a way to buy some time.
Yeah.
So we got Kintober AI transferred into a ring, the Mobius ring, he says.
He was originally in a ring, so
Yeah,
that
it's the
that
same
still
ring.
tracks. Yeah.
I guess suspension of disbelief is for the fact that he was there in the first place, not that they put him back.
Sure, I guess. Yeah.
So Robotnik buried in the rubble is like, shit, I'm not going to be able to get to Angel Island fast enough. Grimer, help me. And is like, okay, well, I was supposed to be keeping an eye on Knuckles, but actually Knuckles is dead, so...
Yep, just like that. Totally.
Just like that. Yeah,
100%.
we've lost
Off
Knuckles
screen.
already.
He's right here. He's actually, this is pretty badass, pull out that we see Grimer, he says Knuckles is dead, and then we pull out to see that he is tied up. Knuckles made him lie to his boss.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, no, this is great. I
Oh yeah.
very refreshing Knuckles right
Yeah,
here.
and actually competent Knuckles.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to escape. Sonic's like, oh, I'm sure that we'll be able to get out of here. But yeah, so Big Arm crashes through the floor as they're trying to get all this done. And, well, there's still no match for the armor, but guess who is? It's Knuckles. What?
Knock knock, it's Knuckles again.
How did he get here this fast?
Magic.
I
That's a good
guess.
point, actually, I don't know.
That
how
is a good
works.
point.
I guess
Whatever.
maybe,
It's cool. I don't care.
Yeah,
maybe
honestly, who
between
cares?
them burying the mech and then it crashing through, there was, like, I don't know, a certain amount of time.
I don't know.
Different point here, but not Robotnik says, you can't break my squeeze tag machine. What kind of name for Big Arm is that?
I don't know.
Well, the wiki does say it's also known as the squeeze tag machine.
Oh,
Well,
really?
that's not from this, is it?
That might be just because of this panel, actually. There's no source on... Oh, wait, hold on. No, that comes from the official Sonic 3 play guide.
Okay, well, there you go. That's my answer. Wow, okay.
Weird.
All right.
I like Big Arm better. It's
Big
blunt,
Arm's a better
but
name,
It
yeah.
makes sense. Anyway, Knuckles is here. He creates an opening in the cockpit for Sonic to tear it apart.
Yee.
I'd like to point out that Knuckles is like being super helpful here, but Sonic at every turn has to like insult him.
Oh, yeah,
He's
he's
like,
gotta be snarky.
I
though.
don't need your help. Like, don't order me around. And like Knuckles is just like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, he has to constantly be snarky to Knuckles.
Yeah, it's like he creates an opening and is like, all right, we can get out through here, and Sonic's like scared of a fight. It's like, why are you a dickhead?
It's like, no,
Yeah.
you're in a confined space. Being out in the open is way smarter.
It's another Archie versus Fleetway thing, because in Archie,
Sure.
both of them are stupid idiots that fight all the time for
Right.
no reason. In this, Sonic seems to want to fight all the time for no reason, but Knuckles is level-headed.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
But we do get out, and, well, we're still not done, because Eggman called in a bunch of reinforcements before he ran off. And, well, frankly, the action is awesome here. I love this full-page
Yeah.
drawing of everybody fighting.
True.
Yeah,
Right.
we got good art here.
Sonic is good, Knuckles is good. All the bots get beaten. Knuckles and Sonic give shitty, sarcastic farewells. Knuckles steals an Eggmobile for himself. So he's heading home, and here's Amy and Tails, and we are escaping, but we're going to be undercover from now on in this circus caravan?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw this and I'm like, oh, this is just a one-off gag. Nope.
No.
Remember this. This will be important somewhat because it's their cover.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's Bob Beakey's Traveling Circus.
Oh boy, we get to see more of Bob Beakey.
I don't mind the Bob Beakey disguise for Sonic.
No, honestly, the Bob Beakey disguise is fine.
Yeah, but yeah, we're leaving Emerald Hill behind for now. Robotnik has, or wherever this is, Robotnik has taken all of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, good story, I think.
Yeah, I like
Yeah, solid story.
And we're going to sort of not exactly contradict it per se, but it's going to feel very off immediately going into this next one, where just whatever happened in that previous story doesn't feel quite connected to this.
This story just feels disconnected from the plot, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this story's just kind of sudden.
This is the Frozen Zone.
I was frozen today.
Stringer and Casanova's. And is it me, or is Casanovas always drawing on stories that don't feel like they mesh with anything? Like, he has great art, but then it's either on a Tales story that doesn't even feel connected to other Tales stories, or a story like this, where it's like, we just had something big happen, and here's something non sequitur.
I guess.
I'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. But Sonic
yeah.
and Company investigate the Pleasant Zone. I'm going to say 4 out of 10 zone name, which has been recently transformed into the Frozen Zone, 5 out of 10, by an unknown phenomena. Anyway, ice, that's the point.
Yeah, that's all you really need to give a crap about.
We have
It's-
a new insult from Sonic to Tails here that I actually kind of like. When Tails sees some people that are frozen, it's like, oh, it's like lollipops, and he's like, nah, your tails obviously outnumber your brain cells.
Hey, that one is actually funny.
It's
I do
really
have to point
mean
out,
still,
though.
but yeah.
I have to point out, though, while yes, he isn't. Sonic is being a massive prick. Everyone around him half the time seems to be just idiots.
It is noticeable that, like, they really play up how Sonic is almost always the most competent person in any situation.
Right.
It almost gives him a right to be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
Almost.
saying he should be a prick, but it does.
It's
feel-
more like he's just like constantly ornery all the time. Like him insulting
Yeah.
people is almost like a verbal tick.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's freaking Carcat Homestuck is what he is. He's just like
God.
constantly trying to say except that was kind of an insecurity thing. And I guess this version of Sonic does come across insecure sometimes.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, I think definitely. It's just a lot of the times he can back up his boasts, but
Sure.
The point is, frozen people, a lot of frozen shit, frozen Johnny even.
Yeah, they kind of just ignore the Tails reacts, and then they just proceed to ignore the fact that Johnny was turned to ice.
It's really weird, right? We get here, we see lots of frozen people, we're like, oh, this is weird, and then Robot jumps out and freezes Johnny, and then we're busy with other stuff for most of the rest of the story.
Yeah, Tails is like, Johnny! And then Sonic beats the robot, and then they just stand there talking in front of frozen Johnny for a panel, not even acknowledging, like, oh god, our friend might be dead.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I guess it is kind of weird. Now that you put it that way, I could see Sonic doing that, but Porker and maybe Tails, I don't know, not as much.
Yeah, Frozen is fine, it's Sonic X rules.
God.
But it's like, oh, certainly when you're reading this, you're thinking, oh, there's a robot freezing people, and it's
Yeah.
hopping down an ice tunnel. I guess that's probably Eggman. No.
No.
Oh yeah, of course. Obviously. I mean, why wouldn't it be?
No.
Yeah,
Instead,
yeah.
it's friggin' Nightmare Dr. Wily.
This guy is weird. He doesn't even have a proper name.
Yeah, he's just
No, they just
the
call him the
Chiller.
It's not a very good name.
No,
Even a
it's
villain
not.
name.
But it's funny. Well, it's funny because he's a really shit villain.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
he's just
he
another.
is kind of funny for how just bad of a villain he is.
Yeah.
Well, it's just weird because it's like we just have another evil scientist building robots. These ones just happen to freeze people.
Yeah, I don't know why this wasn't just Robotnik.
Well, there is one reason. It's not a great one, but it is weird. You know, his robots are here, and he's like, I'm going to freeze this whole place. And then his robots freeze Lewis and Tails as well. And it's like, you can't get my robots. They're strong.
And then Sonic proceeds to get the robots.
Not before they
Not
freeze his
immediately.
feet, and we do
They
the
freeze
James
his
Bond
feet.
speech.
Yeah, I expect you to die, Mr. Sonic.
I
Yeah,
do
something
actually
like that.
like this bit though when Sonic is like, okay, it's traditional for a villain to explain his dastardly plot, so go ahead. And the
Yeah,
Chiller's
come
just
on,
like, I
yeah.
thought you'd never ask.
Yes, and his backstory is, well, apparently he wanted to make a weather machine, but everyone said it was too dangerous, and that's his motivation.
Yep.
Evidently, they were right.
Apparently.
It took me a minute, but eventually I realized this is just a ridiculous story on purpose.
Oh, yeah, I
It
mean,
must be, yeah.
this is another, like, silliness, but it's like, you know, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I don't know. We're just this is what they put in these comics, and so this is what we are reading and talking about right now.
Yeah. And Sonic points out that, idiot, you wanted to make the thing. People told you that it would be a bad idea, and then it was. And, you know, he just effortlessly breaks free, and he just flips the machine to warm the zone back up.
Yeah, he turns on the heater instead of the air conditioner.
Well, it's like, what was your goal here? You know, you just wanted it to be
His own frozen kingdom?
You wanted to be alone, I guess?
He just wanted to show them all that his weather machine
Well, you
was
can't
worked.
destructive as they thought.
You can't exactly get revenge and see people's reaction to your revenge when they're frozen and can't react.
People outside of the zone.
Well, are those the people he's trying to prove it to? I thought he lived here.
I don't know.
As I said, this is not to be taken seriously.
Well,
No.
yes, and
Favorite bit. Right there.
yeah, the prime example of it's not that seriously is, I guess, probably the main reason that this wasn't just Eggman is because
Right.
they warm the place up, they crawl out of the ice hole, and Sonic sentences Chiller here to community service.
Sonic, judge, jury, and executioner.
and then says he should help fight Eggman. He says, clean up this mess and protect this area from Robotnik. And he's just like, okay.
Well, I wasn't very good at being a villain, so I might as well give it a try. Bro is such a shit villain, he's a hero.
Yeah, the way you put it is maybe possibly true, Devin, but it really just seemed more like Sonic was just like, hey, just be a hero instead of a villain, and he was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there are any authorities in place to like force him to do
No.
this stuff that we're saying.
No, there isn't.
Sonic is busy enough fighting Robotnik. I doubt that he could stop this guy if he decided to just turn around again.
Yeah.
I mean, he could stop him, but I mean, he couldn't stop him from trying.
I mean, it's just as likely as Sonic could just leave and he immediately becomes a bastard again.
That's what I'm saying.
Now I'll heat up the zone so it's on fire.
I would actually.
You know what?
I would see that. I could see that.
We'll come back and it's just hell.
Well, so it's pretty rare that any fiction portrays like a mad scientist villain and then has him turn out to be like more reasonable than expected. Even when New Vegas pulled that, it had to kind of fake you out, but I'm not sure how I feel about like they give him every crackpot stereotype in the book and then they have him heel turn anyway, or face turn, I guess.
Why not?
Yeah, very very silly story. You know, this is the kind of the shit that like Archie would never touch again. So I hope that this comes back in the future. You know,
I don't
Well, I
know
have
if
no
I.
idea, but
I don't know
hope
if I'd agree that this is the kind of thing Archie wouldn't touch again, because I feel like this is the exact kind of thing Archie would touch again, like 100 issues later, in
very
like
I
true.
don't know.
in like a 5-page story.
We haven't
Yeah.
seen the return of the spawn mower yet, so.
Okay,
Well,
well,
And I don't count Sonic meeting actual Spawn because he's not a mower.
clearly he is. That makes him the worst character.
Okay, we're getting off track here. Let's move on to Carnival Night Conspiracy, Kitching and Elson. Knuckles the Echidna returns home to Angel Island to find it occupied by the Marxio brothers and their new city of spending. But they're looking for help, not war. Is this a legitimate establishment or a dastardly scheme? It's a Knuckles story.
Hell yeah,
nice.
let's go.
He is flying home in his stolen eggmobile, but Robotnik sets it to self-destruct.
Yeah,
Of course.
So we get to show off the gliding, and I'm realizing Knuckles' shoes are colored wrong.
are they?
He should have green socks and yellow bits on the inside.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Huh.
Doesn't look that bad anyway, but yeah.
No.
So he's gliding home, but hey, some asshole built a Carnival Night Zone here.
How long has he been gone?
It's like it's really weird because the time scale with him getting to the hero base was way too short, and now the time scale for him getting home is way too long.
He got really lost on that eggmobile. I guess. I guess the GPS sucks.
Maybe
At this
maybe
point, I almost think that Angel Island time somehow moves differently.
Yeah, I mean, Angel Island might have some kind of like time dilation.
I was gonna say that maybe this was just in construction and he didn't notice it until before he left. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, that's also possible. It's not like he's going to know everything that
Angel Island is a continent, and that's something that
Yeah.
is very inconsistently portrayed in the series.
Yeah, it's a big island.
Yeah, so he burrows into the ground because that's the easiest way to explore the city without having to pay the toll gate, I guess, at the front. But he is quickly spotted by the Marxios, who were like, "Oh, some guy sent a big bruiser robot."
I guess the Marxios just officially run Robotnik's casinos.
That's what I was wondering. Do they just run his casinos and theme parks?
I suppose so.
I don't see why not.
You need to make casinos some amount of fun, and Robotnik would be really bad at that, so it makes sense he'd subcontract it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, this robot is very clearly not a typical Sonic design. It's much more westernized with this big,
Oh yeah.
razor jaw, and I like his crazy eyes as well.
Yeah,
But Knuckles makes short work of him because he's Knuckles.
of course.
yeah.
Then they also decide, alright, well, if we can't get the robot, how about we just snipe him? How about we just shoot him with a rifle?
They still don't know who they're dealing with.
Clearly.
Bullets are also difficult to work on Knuckles. Or maybe they're just bad at aiming. And so it's very weird because he gets up there and finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have been introduced to Gullible Knuckles.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I can't lie and say this wasn't a bit of a letdown because it seemed like they were going to play him a little differently. It's not atrocious here, but it's not great.
I don't mind what they end up doing with it, and I like the overall attitude of, we shift from kill the enemy of the Empire to, oh shit, he's strong, try the diplomatic approach, rope him into our crypto scheme. Just the Marxios are very greasy, and I like seeing them act greasy.
If they hadn't tried to kill Knuckles first, I could maybe see this going on for a little while.
Yeah, you know what? Just remove the bullet. Just have him look up and see them rather than they were trying to snipe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't necessarily know that they sent the bot, and if he jumps up there, punches first, asks question later, then, he could conceivably view himself as maybe not being in the right. But yes, this is a Knuckles gets tricked story. They convince Knuckles that the revenue cut they'll give him from guarding their amusement park could be used to improve other parts of Angel Island.
It's kind of a weak excuse, but the idea of turning Angel Island into a tourist attraction is kind of devious.
I don't
Yeah.
mind that, and it's funny,
But-
because we have again the Archie parallels. Because remember Renfield T. Rodent and the Chaotix adaptation?
Oh,
Of course, I
yeah.
immediately thought of it. Very similar, actually.
Yeah.
This was obviously way before that, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it's like Knuckles. He is going along with this when he shouldn't be, but he is also suspicious for many points because he's like, well, maybe I could do that, because he does, view Angel Island as something that needs to move forward, not just stagnate.
Sure.
But as soon as he sees that, like, there's genuine badniks here, it's like, I'm not, mincing words on those. Beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, he puts his foot down as soon as there's anything obviously undeniably wrong, but like there's technically no harm in waiting around and seeing what's going on. So yeah, it's not the worst.
The
That's
fact
true.
that there's not a lot of actual other people here means that Knuckles is really only putting himself at risk, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
It takes a whole extra layer of convincing to get him to understand, like... Or, well, understand, quote-unquote, why it's okay that we have some badniks here. And it's like, oh, we just buy them for security reasons, because that's not a... Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, if Knuckles had been there with Captain Plunder, there is actually precedent for people using badniks and not being directly linked
That
to
is,
Robotnik,
yeah,
so...
that is true.
Yeah.
But
Well,
still.
and if we took, our headcanon backstory from the games, that Robotnik was like a defense contractor or something, then it would really work, but you can't quite make that compatible.
Mm.
No, unless Kintobor somehow did something and, like, the reputation sticks. Although, I'm not sure. I don't think anyone else knows that Kintobor was Eggman except Sonic.
I'm not
and
sure anybody
Kintobor.
else knew that
and-
Kintobor existed
Oh.
before it. It's...
Yeah, I don't know.
But, Knuckles is gonna ride the ghost train. Yeah, we're Pinball Carnival Act 2 up in here, where it's full of deadly traps, and Knuckles thinks it's all just really good special effects.
I actually like this, that it somehow goes all over his head, but in a comedic way, and he just coincidentally is like, oh, well, I would have more fun if I started punching things.
This is the hilarious side effect, is that all of these deadly traps are happening, and Knuckles is destroying all of them, thinking he's not destroying traps, but just casually ruining all of their harmless entertainment property.
Yeah, he's just like, I hope they have more of these in reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got axes, we got mud creatures, we got more stuff. There's a loop, maybe. There's a mega muck puddle.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Mm.
And it ends with they just throw you off the track.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he doesn't see this one. This one, I guess he's giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I'm not
you
sure
know,
how they
oh,
expected to
it's
make money off
incomplete.
of people with this.
Yeah.
Well, you pay beforehand.
Well, I mean, presumably you want to get repeat customers, but okay.
Don't worry
So
about
they
it.
do say that they switched him to an incomplete part of the course.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, but like an incomplete car doesn't stab you.
They also said they activated the traps. This doesn't all happen automatically.
I guess I've never driven an unfinished car before.
Well, I'm pretty sure they don't stab you.
Anyway, yeah. So Knuckles didn't realize that it was a death trap the whole time, but it is. I mean, that's one of those where I'll accept that for comedy, and the fact that Knuckles still has the upper hand anyway makes me able to tolerate a little bit better.
Yeah, fair enough.
We also get this great image of Knuckles sitting at a desk with the marketing consultant thing in front of him.
Oh,
This
yeah.
very funny image.
Well, and I love, this... If you are going to have someone be fooled by something silly, the fun should always be in watching the liar scramble to maintain the lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something steamed hams, but the ruse only works as long as Knuckles doesn't leave Carnival Night Zone to attack Robotnik.
Which,
So as soon as he makes his net to do that, we're like, well, fuck it, alliance over.
yeah, I guess we'll just have to kill him.
Yeah, the jig is up, and we got... This is sort of another big arm. It's got the shape, but it's got a big clown face on the front.
It's kind of strange, this little thing. Always flip-flopping between coloration and just all chrome robots. These comics seem to do. I wonder if it's the
Yeah.
same colorist. I need to check that maybe.
I think that most of the time the art is done color and pencilist the same person, maybe?
Is it?
There's no separate coloring credit. Sometimes there is, but this looks like it might all be solo Elson.
Okay.
Anywho, yeah, so they're... whatever we call this, clown arm. It blows Knuckles up with a missile, and then pounds him into the ground.
We skipped over, but technically speaking, they do try to be like, "Hey, Knuckles, don't leave." And then Chikio is like, "We can't kick Robotnik out of Angel Island because then he won't pay us for all this," and that's what reveals it for Knuckles. So now when they smash him into the ground, Groucho is like, "Wait, maybe he's still alive and he can still beat up Chikio because he's just so furious at him."
Yeah. And this is a recurring thing, I guess, across multiple Sonic things, but I've noticed it a lot in Sonic comic, which is Knuckles looks like he's, down for the count, but eventually he just gets back up.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
it's not like he healed. It just is ready to fight again later. It's like we're like, oh, he's down. Open the park. Nope. Hi. So it's like, why did we? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that is fair.
Because it's not like he's fighting in a withered state. No, he has the power he needs to dodge and beat them.
Yeah.
So they're left high and dry as park guests start to filter in. How are they getting people here?
There's like a transport.
Okay, there's like a flying transport bus, but
yeah,
you're doing this already when we're like, I guess it was planned to open today and Knuckles showed up today.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a very coincidence for the sake of shenanigans sort of a timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hilariously, the Marx brothers think on their feet and they're like, oh, look at, we've got these Badnik back up fighting Knuckles. It's performance art. Our magnificent attraction.
Yep, and Knuckles is like, oh shoot, I can't openly attack them even when I'm done with these guys. Because he does actually care about the safety of the guests, which I mean, yeah, that seems about right. He doesn't like people being on his island, but they had no idea what was going on.
Knuckles doesn't like people, but he doesn't want to hurt them, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So he's running out of options, it's like, oh, what can I do when I can't cause collateral damage? And the answer is apparently just, slice off an entire eighth of the fucking continent.
I could not believe this when I saw it. Like, what?
This drawing of Angel Island this is not how this should be scaled at all.
No,
but even if it were,
no. That is a massive theme park still.
It's a massive theme park that's the size of a city, but also, Knuckles, buddy, what do you mean?
Well, hey, it just reiterates Knuckles is the most powerful in any continuity.
Knuckles is insanely strong to be able to do this, and I feel like, maybe the fact that it's got a big stupid amusement park on top of it ruins it, but I feel like he wouldn't do this to Angel Island.
Yeah, that is the thing.
Yeah,
like, I kind of laughed at the feat, but then I'm like, this doesn't seem like something he would do. Because, like, earlier in the story, he was talking about how, well, it'd be nice to maybe fix up the place, make it a little nicer. Like, when the echidnas come back, how are you going to explain, there's just a piece of the island missing?
Yeah. So that certainly is something.
Yeah, it's an idea.
But he perfectly splits off the piece of the island where Carnival Night Zone and all of the Marxios are, where none of the civilians are on the wrong side or caught between.
But it's just such an absurd feat on so many levels. And the fact that it was even built on the edge of the island, too, like, it's just crazy, but it's pretty funny, honestly.
Yeah, and I guess because it's still a part of Angel Island, it'll float a little bit slower down, so I guess that's just an excuse to say they aren't literally being killed.
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, plus, if it crashed down, that would, be devastating to whatever was below.
Frankly, it looks pretty devastating when it does land.
Yeah, it looks pretty devastating either way.
But thankfully, there's nothing for it to fall onto. Luckily for Knuckles, that is. And I guess anybody that would have been hit who isn't. Anyway, yeah, we end with this like little boy like running out of his house and seeing an entire piece of the fucking island falling down, and it's very funny because like he's like, oh mom, I want to go to Carnival Night Zone, and then oh, Carnival Night Zone came to you. But yeah, Knuckles, motherfucker, is hardcore, I guess.
Yeah, he'll do whatever it takes.
Get Eggman's stink off his island.
And you know that Knuckles is really bad when Groucho decides that it'd be better to head back to Super Marxio World now.
Yeah, and I guess head back they must because I don't think they're gone for good from the comic, but I don't remember seeing them a lot after this. I don't remember where they go, but yeah, it was a big full length story, but I don't know how the hell I feel about that ending.
It's a story. That's
A lot of it was fun. A lot of it was kind of dumb, but I would still say that as far as Knuckles' idiot plots go, it's still in the upper tier of them.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's not bad.
Ranked against Knuckles' idiot plots specifically,
Yeah,
pretty high.
This is definitely a top tier Knuckles idiot plot.
It's no Planet Hido.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, The Chaos Emerald Thief, written by Kitching, drawn by Bojack Dukak? Boyak? I don't know. It's a very non-English name. The purple Chaos Emerald goes missing, and heroes and villains alike play hot potato trying to get it back. What is this Star Wars planet that we're on?
Oh no, it's Metropolis Zone. Don't you recognize it?
No! There's planets in the sky with their own moon and, like, friggin' spires?
This is exactly how I remember Metropolis Zone looking.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we got alien mushrooms, we got the green sky orb, and a bird dude is selling the stolen purple Chaos Emerald to Cloakman.
How do you steal a Chaos Emerald from Angel Island?
If you can steal one, why do you not steal all of them?
We're jumping ahead here a little bit, but there isn't much of an explanation.
No, I feel like this would have been the perfect place to introduce Fang, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Triple Trouble probably wasn't out by this point. But yeah, we're in this seedy Mos Eisley bar selling the stolen emerald, and suddenly Sonic jumps out. You know.
Yep.
Because he has his finger on the pulse, and it's a Chaos Emerald.
Yeah.
But Purple Bird Guy, does he have a name? I don't think he does.
He does.
He does.
It's
oh God, where was
Merch.
it? Merch.
Smirch.
Yeah.
Merch.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Smirch saw this coming because he fires poison gas out of his hand.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
I guess that's just a distraction because Sonic can blow it away by flailing his arm.
He's moving his arm at supersonic speed.
He's experienced with this now since Metamorphosis tried to use it against him.
It's also weird because he like funnels it out of the window, but it breaks the window.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Whatever.
Anywho, it allows Smirch here to escape. And Sonic is like, what the hell is your problem? He starts throttling Cloakman. But Sonic unmasks him to reveal it's Knuckles, which you could probably tell by looking at his hands before.
Yeah.
And it's like, both of them seemingly like got the tip-off that the Emerald was missing, but not any communication with each other. Like, where did we learn about this? I don't know.
Well, Knuckles, I can understand him knowing, because it's from his island.
He would just check the chamber,
Yeah.
Sonic... Who knows?
He has a tracking device.
That's true, he does, and I guess they detected one moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I assume.
And instead of going to go talk to... Oh, maybe they went to Angel Island and Knuckles wasn't there.
Maybe.
But this initial interaction shows you how the entire story will go on until the very end, I guess.
Yeah, mostly bickering.
Well, yeah, a lot of bickering, but I was going to say that Knuckles has it all under control, and Sonic gets in the way, which is not actually what you usually see in these comics.
No, Sonic is kind of a fucking menace. I say that, but I do think that them getting into arguments and getting in each other's way is still better than just randomly fighting each other, because they're both working towards the same goal, at least.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And, well, I mean, Smirch is just some guy, so they don't even take that long to catch up with him.
Right.
Knuckles 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 some barrels toward him, and he dodges such that they hit Sonic.
Sonic just runs in at like the
Yeah,
same
Sonic
time
just-
they're flying
yeah.
over.
I guess like he's taking a shot at him, even though Knuckles already did the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Sonic just isn't paying attention very well to what's going on.
So yeah, dude gets away again, but well, we pull a reversal sort of, in that Knuckles gets angry and punches Sonic, and he falls into Smirch, and like kicks him.
Yep, supposedly completely on purpose too.
Yeah, totally on purpose.
This is right before this. We get the only partial explanation, which as to how the emerald was stolen, which is just Smirch is just a master criminal. He caught Knuckles by surprise. Great. Yeah, I find this. I mean, it's obviously they just wanted this to happen, and it was a shorter story, so they didn't spend time on that part of it. But yeah, it's hard. I don't understand it.
Did they? When Sonic grabs the emerald, Knuckles is like, "You didn't do that on purpose," and then Sonic's like, "Oh, I saw him sneaking off, but I couldn't be bothered to run after him." So it's like they didn't plan that. So it's like we kind of won the day completely by accident, which was what was causing us to lose before. So I don't know. Weird story. Maybe not a good story.
Yeah.
Weird story.
All right. Well, let's continue on our streak of not dwelling on it. Ice Cap attack Lou Stringer and Mike Hadley. When Sonic and friends find themselves attacked by Badniks from the wrong zone, Sonic investigates the mysterious portal flooding their homeland with machines. So, allegedly we're in Hilltop Zone, and that just looks like more green Emerald Hill.
Don't worry.
The soil should be blue.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy thing they could have fixed. But
yeah, but...
Yeah, it's whatever. We're getting attacked by Badniks, but yeah, it's weird because like the writers and artists they knew enough to say from the games that Penguinators are from Ice Cap and not Hilltop, and also Ice Cap is on Angel Island, but they didn't know enough to say Penguinators do not fly.
That is,
I feel like
true. Yeah,
I feel like you should be able to infer that from the fact that they're penguins, which also don't fly.
That is a good point.
Yeah, a weird thing about these comics is, like, in certain parts, they seem to be more knowledgeable about the games than, like, Archie, but other parts, they just do exactly what I would expect Sonic comics to do.
I think what I would say is that Archie sometimes feels like they paid attention to specific details and had some reference material. Fleetway seems like they at least had someone on staff who played the games.
Yeah, I guess that's it. They played the games, but, like, that doesn't mean they remembered every detail correctly.
They weren't fans necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're like, okay, what are these doing in the wrong level? And it's like, oh, conveniently, a portal opens up to send more of them through. Guess we know how that happened now.
Huh.
Yeah.
And Sonic is like, all right, well, you guys keep fighting these. I'm going through the hole.
What a brilliant idea.
It's
Also,
a Sonic idea.
It is.
Amy's hair is drawn wrong, I'm just realizing. I was like, why does she look different? It's because her hair is spiked like Sonic's, but it's not spiked upwards.
Yeah.
Oh, darn. That's annoying.
Anyway, the portal closes behind Sonic, so wherever he is, he's trapped, but it's just Ice Cap Zone, so he'll just go home after that, I guess. Also, Knuckles is stuck dealing with Orbinauts here. Those aren't from Hilltop Zone.
Well, maybe there are multiple portals between different zones, even to Ice Cap. I don't know. Maybe a portal opened to a different place. I can't remember where these Orbinauts are from. Starlight?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe a portal opened to Starlight between Ice Cap and some of them came through. It's not impossible.
I guess not, but they kind of... It seemed like the switching was the thing they were harping on. I guess... Well, wait. Does Hilltop have, like, those fire Orbinauts? Is that a thing?
I think so. Maybe?
Maybe?
Next month we're going to hit the 1-year anniversary of us not talking about video games, so it's been a little while since we've played them.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Anywho, Sonic helps Knuckles clear out the last of the robots, and they form a temporary alliance to take out the portal generator.
They say it's for Christmas, but I would just like to say I would just like to think that they're being a little practical for once.
Yeah. Also, is this
Yeah,
a
sure.
Christmas issue? I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, they mentioned
I think
Christmas a
so.
few
Knuckle,
times.
yeah,
Yes.
Eggman says it too. So
Yeah.
I guess as far as Christmas specials go, we could do worse. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonic and Knuckles find the Eggman's ice dome, the fortress of Eggitude. There's probably a better pun I can make there, but I don't have it. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. The cutaway to Robotnik makes me think he's like far away watching them from here, but the dome is just right there. So I don't know.
To be fair, there was a division between parts, so
Yeah,
we don't
maybe
know how
that's a
much
little
time
bit of
has
a time
passed.
skip.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we go in the ice dome. It shatters easily, but Robotnik's like, "Ah, you fools! Close the door behind you. It's cold." And now I'm going to trap you in a force field that burns you, I guess. But also you
Burns you
float.
when you stick your finger out of it. Or
It's a little weird, but it does lead to a great line from
yeah.
Robotnik where he says, "I advise you not to move unless you wish to be burnt to a crisp, Hedgehog. With any luck, that is what I'm hoping you'll try, of course."
Yeah, and it's like we try to do the thing from the friggin' Freezer Man story where it's like, oh, we're gonna die, so you might as well tell us what your plan is. But his plan is just, I'm opening portals and can attack from anywhere.
He makes it out to be a little more
Yeah.
grandiose than that, though. He talks it up in typical Robotnik fashion. We even get this image
Fantasy.
of just destruction upon everything. So
I guess my issue with that is that he kind of already does that.
yeah,
Yeah.
this plan is a little strange because it's a little unclear, actually. I'm like, where do Badniks even come from? Does he have multiple factories? I guess he must. It's kind of weird to think that they. Yeah, because he had like the special zone, but I haven't seen that for a while. The special zone base, actually.
No, he hasn't
Um,
really been in there very much. He's mostly been in Metropolis
Yeah.
or just
yeah,
around.
I don't know. I mean, it can't possibly hurt to have portals that send you anywhere instantly. That's for
No,
sure.
but
No,
ultimately, this is
yeah.
just like he has a fast transit system. That's what it amounts to.
Basically.
Anywho, Knuckles digs them out by just digging under the force field, which, yep, they bop the Badniks, but then they stop, and like he gets away because they have to get these guys. I assume the guys in the Badniks through the gateway back to Mobius before it's too late. What?
Well, it's just like I mean, they could bring them back with a ship or something, but that would be annoying. But if you just fly them to through the
Yeah, like
portal,
like
it's a lot more
seemingly it's
convenient.
just that if we don't let Robotnik get away by protecting these other guys, they'll be here on Angel Island and it will be annoying to get them home.
To be fair, when they captured Robotnik last time, well, okay, I mean, I guess Knuckles isn't against them now, but my point stands that he probably wouldn't stay captured for long.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
It's better than no excuse, like they had with like that mysterious traveler dude.
I guess. But yes, for the sake of convenience, we have to make sure that everyone gets home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And Sonic gets home. It's like it's beaten. He leaves Angel Island. We go home. It's Christmas. Merry November 22nd, everybody.
It's not just this artist because they do draw Amy's spines correctly in one of these panels, but not in all the other ones. It's weird. They
Hmm.
That is
messed it
odd.
up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Especially since Hadley is a pretty close second to Elson in terms of art quality. It's still pretty detailed and consistent. So yeah, not sure about that one. Not a great story. Not terrible. Just kind of
It's
Yeah.
confusing.
fine.
But I know we'll be excited for this one. A Day in the Life of Robotnik, Mark Miller and Mike Hadley. As the title implies, Dr. Robotnik treats the audience to a slideshow of his daily routine.
I didn't realize this was going to be a regular thing. I'm so for Robotnik focused stories.
Oh yeah.
Well, and, we start already with a terrifying nightmare of peace and kinship with nature and ethical treatment of animals and environmentalism and free healthcare. So naturally, he wakes up screaming in terror.
I love this. This is amazing.
I like to imagine that he just only has nightmares.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't remember where that came from. I've definitely heard it was Adventures of Sonic where he talked about having good nightmares or something.
Yeah, or
This is
like
a bad
yeah,
word,
he
though.
he wants to be
Yeah.
terrified and sleeping.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So there's a really odd moment that I'm going to read into more deeply than I should.
Oh
Go
boy.
Where so Robotnik gets up and he's like, eggs for breakfast, of course. But he's like, mother always told me to go to work on an egg, but only on eggs that have been produced inhumanely. Okay, wait a second though. So I like that, but mother, so he's not supposed to remember his past. So there's two possibilities.
This is something he just
One,
made up.
well, okay, I guess there's many possibilities. He could have just been making this up. But another possibility is we don't actually know, like, when Robotnik was born, quote unquote, what he was thinking, what his mental state was like. He wanted to instantly try to, like, conquer everything. But
That's
like,
true.
is there like a fictional past in his mind or something? Is there like a corrupted version of his past that he thinks that's the way it is?
That's an interesting question.
that's a fun and interesting idea. I thought you were just gonna go off and say like Mama Robotnik from Adventures is in this.
Oh well,
Oh my
see, I would
God.
totally believe that the false version of his mother is Mama Robotnik, but
Oh
Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
like his fantasies, exactly. Yeah, that's really funny. Obviously, within the context of the story, I think he's just using that as a turn of phrase, but that is a funny
Sure.
thing to consider anyway. Also, this panel of him eating the fuck out of a million eggs is really disgusting.
oh yeah, of course.
They're also, I might add, they're evil eggs made by the robot chicken thing.
I hate this robot chicken.
No relation to the show Robot Chicken, I assume.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah.
the electronic battery hen, they call it. What is this? This is terrifying.
Electronic battery hen.
I don't
How
know.
is it making eggs if it's a robot? What's in these eggs?
Liquid mercury.
Well, this is one of those things where, like, in Archie, Robotnik like drank oil, so like
Right.
maybe these aren't edible by normal people, but they are by Robotnik because of reasons.
He's
Yeah.
just so quirky.
Well, I
Yes.
mean, if he is eating mercury, that would explain some things about his mental state.
Good point, actually.
Anyway, next part of his day, he designs new robots to destroy the environment, because that's the thing he does, and then Sonic breaks them and saves people and all that.
Yay.
I would
And-
like to point out that the Badniks refer to Sonic as the world's coolest hedgehog, so that's just a fact.
Yeah, that's just a fact. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no opinion on whether Sonic is cool. You either
Yeah.
recognize it or you don't.
Yeah, you either recognize it or he makes you recognize it.
Also, Porker is one of the ones they kidnap, but Sonic saves him. I wonder what he was doing there, because he just seems to be with the rest of the civvies.
I mean,
Oh.
this is a Robotnik perspective story. Who knows?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the bit after this, though, which is
Oh
that
boy.
the Badniks that failed to stop Sonic get sacrificed to the lava pit.
This is so deliciously messed up and perfect for this
God.
version of Robotnik. The image of the Penguinator falling into the molten metal and saying, "Praise the compassion of Dr. Robotnik" is... oh, it's horrible.
Well, yeah,
It's-
they're not even like being forced to do it. They're doing it willingly.
Yeah, they're so happy to die. I hope
God.
these aren't ones that have people in them.
I could see it going either way, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
See, I feel what I think is that might be from their perspective, the writers. I bet they're just like not even thinking about the robots having dudes inside them. And if you ask them, they would say, "Oh no, these ones were deshelled or whatever." Because
Sure.
I feel like these comics, they've committed to mass robotization. They have not committed to mass death Like,
No,
we haven't had a
they
lot of
haven't.
people die in these comics.
Yeah.
You are almost certainly correct. However, the fact that it's ambiguous is even better.
No, I'm not saying they
Oh,
should
yeah.
clarify.
No. It's much better for it to be completely ambiguous.
Yeah. So that's fucked up and kind of awesome. And then finally we end on a joke about Robotnik reading trashy teen romance magazines.
I guess
That's
someone has to
whiplash.
read. Someone has to read them.
I guess.
It doesn't feel like it connects, I would say, is the thing. Like, it's
Yeah,
a pretty
no, it
common
doesn't.
joke to have Robotnik be, cartoonishly evil, but then have a dissonant, childish interest.
Right.
I just don't... This one doesn't feel like it's founded in anything,
No, yeah, they could have.
Yeah.
They could have picked something different. Like I don't know. Not this. This doesn't. This just kind of doesn't fit. Especially in this story, which is not supposed to. But
Yeah, this is a joke that would be perfectly fitting for, like, Sonic Boom Eggman, where, like, being
Sure,
evil is his
yeah.
job, but his personal life, he's almost, like, a little bit effeminate.
Yeah, I can see that.
I
Part-
guess it's. Go
This Robotnik just doesn't feel like he would even use his free time on much as part of it as well.
No, this Robotnik comes off more as he would spend all of his time doing evil.
Frankly, I'm surprised he sleeps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess all I can take from this is that the evil has not completely overwhelmed him. There's something there. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll
I
play on
suppose.
this at some point. I don't know.
I
It wasn't
guess, yeah.
100% of the world's evil, even in
Yeah.
the worst case. But, yeah, funny, weird, silly, fucked up, crazy story.
I love it.
Yep.
Mm.
And now, Trapped in the Vortex, Lou Stringer and Nigel Dobbs on art. Sonic is trapped underwater in the Labyrinth Zone, and Tails must make a decision that could spell his doom. It's Labyrinth Zone.
Yeah.
The,
mean,
the
it's-
way
It
the
is Labyrinth
characters
Zone, so it's
are
gonna.
drawn here is very
There's-
funny.
This is some interesting art. I don't really hate it.
Yeah, it's definitely different. The shape of
Yeah.
Sonic's head and his body. Tails has very small eyes that, with the coloring, kind of look bloodshot or, like, sunken.
Yeah, Tails is a little weird looking, but I kind of like this almost chibi Sonic.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all.
Yeah, it's something. I want to note, Tails mentions another year and Robotnik is still as powerful as ever. So I think that these comics were released with some respect to real time, since we had Christmas last time,
Right.
and then a few episodes back we had a Christmas issue.
Yeah.
Most likely.
But they get attacked by Motobugs, which are the wrong colors and flying.
At least
least
they're
they're
actual
Motobugs.
Motobugs now.
Like, we keep calling Buzz Bombers Motobugs, and now we have Motobugs that are just acting like Buzz Bombers.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Whatever.
But Sonic falls in the water, and Tails is like, oh no, he can't swim, and doesn't do anything.
Oh no,
Well,
Sonic's gonna die.
so-
Anyway.
To be fair, first of all, Sonic has to say, I just don't swim. It's not that I can't.
Yeah, it's not that I
swim."
can't swim, I just don't swim, asshole.
I can't
And,
drive, I choose not to.
This is actually like the central thing of the story when Tails is like, should I save Sonic or should I help the people? And then he decides to help the citizens out instead. He's like, I guess Sonic will be okay, I hope.
So that's part of it, but he leaves to quote-unquote go get help before he knows that there's other people to save. Like, there were people missing, and they were there looking for them, but they didn't see him until after Tails decides not to save Sonic.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But he does get caught up fighting more Badniks, and Sonic is, caught in a whirlpool, but he gets out because the machine is recharging? So I guess this is just... It's like, it almost feels like it is a video game obstacle, because it would be, some rotor that spins, and you get trapped in it, but then, after a few seconds it stops, so you can just walk out,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It is right like that.
And, like, you can see a metal plate generating it, but, why? Did they even say that Robotnik put that there? I guess you
I'm
can
sure
infer.
he did. It's same reason that there are weak spots installed on the boss robots,
Yeah, fair enough. So, we get... I don't remember what those shark badniks from Hydro City are called, but they're those, and they're red instead of blue, but that's fine.
They look very
Um,
funny.
Sonic grabs an air bubble, because that's a game mechanic, destroys the whirlpool machine, and the explosion of it blasts him out of the water.
Sure.
And Tails apologizes for leaving Sonic behind, but Sonic, for once in his fucking life, says, "No, you were right."
Yeah, you made the right decision, kid. Don't worry.
He actually
Every so often.
praises Tails and says that freeing the
Yeah.
trapped Mobians was the right call.
It's really because Tails was actually stroking his ego because he was like, "Well, I knew you'd be okay." He's like, "That's of course I would be okay."
You're right. No, I don't know. I don't know. Sonic better hope he never actually does need Tails' help after that one, though.
Right.
So, yeah, just little story. Hey, finally, a Casanova's art story that's actually connected to stuff, though. This is Badnik's Bridge, Kitching and Casanova's. When the heroes learn of Robotnik's new thruster to transport and repair the Death Egg, Sonic heads for Emerald Valley Bridge to sabotage the operation.
I really wish this was Bridge Zone, but oh well.
Well, headcanon is powerful. Anyway,
That's true.
it's the circus caravan, and we actually have acts to do, like almost killing Lewis.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sonic's got the Bob Beaky get-up going on.
Why is he so tall?
He is really tall.
What the fuck?
It includes stilts.
It must include stilts, because Sonic is not that tall.
Casanovas does tend to draw him a bit taller, but yeah, he's way
Even
too
still, I mean, he draws Sonic a little lankier, but like, come on,
not this much.
yeah.
I want to note, by the way, that Johnny gives Amy one compliment for not hitting Lewis with her arrows, and Sonic immediately takes this as a sign that he should ship them to get Amy to leave him alone.
Just anything to get Amy off his back.
Pretty much.
I feel like since that Marvel Garden story, Amy's not been that overbearing anyway. But
We haven't seen her a whole lot.
no, that's part of it too. You're right, but the difference between Archie Sonic and this is that Fleaway Sonic is never really a soap opera. It is pretty action from beginning to end.
Yeah,
so we're not going to
really
be getting
about that, but,
tortured romantic drama.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, I mean, if this was Archie and I saw an exchange like that, I'd be buckling up. This would be bad.
Oh
Yeah,
boy,
no,
7 issues of pining, or Mina kissed me when Sally was in visual sight and I wasn't asking her to, but now we have to... I fucking hated all that. Anyway, AI Contober says that Eggman is repairing the Death Egg again, or still repairing it. I guess he's been busy with this for a while.
Yeah, he's been busy with this.
But he has
would.
thruster built to transport the Death Egg back to Angel Island. What?
No, he's moving the thruster to Angel Island, which will allow the Death Egg to lift off.
Yeah, because the Death Egg's being rebuilt on Angel Island, which...
Sorry, and that was what I was confused about, is I thought they were... No, they're using the thruster on the Death Egg. He has to get it to Angel Island where the Death Egg is. Okay, my bad. So, we're heading off so that we can destroy that thruster or get it away. And, maybe I was getting confused because these were run, I think, in some of the same issues as the Knuckles story multi-parter from before. Because Grimer assures Robotnik, the Marxio brothers will have Knuckles killed soon. So, we already saw what happened to that.
Yeah. That was a number of stories ago that we covered, so the order's a little screwy here.
It was a multi-part, though, so...
Oh, okay, so there were a lot of stories happening alongside. I get it. Okay, that kind of makes sense.
It's asynchronous. It's a bit weird. But yes, we go to Emerald Valley Bridge. We see the big thing. Lots of dense jungle around this patch of highway overpass, but okay.
Well, this could have been built by Robotnik, maybe. I mean, he had 6 months to do a lot of stuff, so...
Fair enough. But Sonic is planting bombs, but gets attacked by an elite Badnik soldier, which I guess is just a bit faster?
Doesn't look all that different.
Yeah. But he has a cage attachment arm?
Yep, that's a secret weapon.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that wouldn't be that big a deal, because it's still going to explode, except Sonic, planted the bomb, so he might be blowing himself up here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, some Sonics might be willing to go through with that. I don't think this one, though.
But it's fine. Johnny and Amy are arriving in the tornado, but they don't so much save Sonic as provide something for him to stand on when he saves himself.
Well, it's more like the fact that they are there gives Sonic an opportunity to act, and then he's like, oh, they'll react in time to go with the flow.
Which
He is
weird.
both overconfident in his own abilities and just a daredevil in general.
Yeah, it's weird to me because they don't do anything. He sees them and he's like, all right, now is my chance, and he unscrews the bolts on his cage, and then he just jumps up on them. But it's like, it's not like he needed that to get away from the bombs, because the bombs aren't going off yet, and they're going to go back down there in a second. So, like, just run. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It is funny, though, that it's like, oh, this cage is made out of a new, tough alloy you'll never be able to break, but then there's still exposed screws left, of course. Typical Robotnik design.
I mean, that's almost true about, like, real tech in real life, is it? It's like, oh, we got special carbon nanotubes on this. Okay, what are they secured with? Oh, glue.
Yeah.
But the robots find the bombs, but Sonic distracts them by unscrewing the wheels on the transporter with a wrench. Robotnik is really skimping on production quality today.
Yeah, it's funny they did the same sort of thing, like, twice.
Yeah, and...
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't really clock it at the start, but Amy sets off the bombs herself, not by shooting them with her crossbow, and I had to go back to the start of the story to check, because at the start of the story she's using the crossbow to shoot at Lewis, but now she just uses a normal bow to set off the bombs?
Okay, yeah, that's...
What happened to the crossbow, for one? And two, why a normal... Isn't a crossbow, like, way easier to aim?
In theory, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, so...
I mean, okay. It would depend on what you have more experience with, but Amy, I would assume she has more experience with the crossbow.
That's all we've seen her use, so...
Yeah, so...
Very strange. She also gives us this line, I'm not called AIM for nothing. And that's very cheesy.
Very funny.
Shouldn't it be Ames, though? Or I guess that nickname didn't exist yet.
No. Anyway, the thruster is destroyed, Eggman abuses Grimer, and the day is saved. But next issue, Day of the Death Egg, so not that saved.
When I first read this, I'm like, oh, okay, so the last story just didn't matter.
No, but this is, this is Day of the Death Egg, and it caught me off guard at first. Kitching and Elson, Robotnik bears witness to exactly how deadly his new and improved Death Egg could be.
Accurate summary.
Yeah.
The Death Egg is launching. How and when did we get here? Who knows? It's time for Death Egg.
Who cares?
It's a shock on purpose.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, despite being in a constant struggle to prevent this, Sonic and Tails are somehow shocked and appalled when their regular Badnik bashing session is interrupted by the orbital death lasers.
Holy crap. Right from the eyes.
This is what I expected that laser cannon from the first or second episode to be like. It's just leveling everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really underwhelming. This lives up. I like this bit when he's like, bring me Sonic. And Sonic's like, you don't have to do that to get me to come fight you, you know? He's like, yeah, but I couldn't resist using the death rays.
I mean, wouldn't you? I mean,
right.
I guess I can't have that mindset, but, But, I was like, oh, we gotta fight it. So, Tails flies directly at it, gets shot, and dies.
Holy crap. Jesus Christ.
And, that's upsetting. And then Sonic gets real upset about this. He's like, you murderer, you won't get me that easily. So then Sonic runs directly at it, gets shot, and dies.
Okay, we've seen a lot of Sonic death fake-outs. I legit cannot figure out a way they're going to come back from this.
Well, and they don't, because it's not real.
It's just the end of Sonic, the end of Sonic the comic.
Yeah, it's the end of Sonic the comic.
Hope you had a good time, everyone. Yeah. It was an interesting ride.
It's not real. The screen cuts to black, And we pull out to a reveal that all of this is a simulation made by Grimer. I guess to just get Robotnik hyped?
Man, they really should have gone through with it. Make
What,
that
just
the
kill them
actual
all?
story. No, not literally kill them, but like, fuck things up. Make it look like they're dead.
We don't know how the actual Death Egg launch is going to go. This seems like a hype story for the readers, honestly.
Sure, yeah.
That's probably what it is, yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that he is going to launch it eventually.
Oh, yeah, he's been
what
working
he's
on
going
it.
to do with it, how far he's going to go, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
This was cool, but if it actually just come out like that, I would have felt a little robbed because we just had a story about stopping it from launching.
I guess, yeah, fair enough.
Well, and I mean, they still did kind of do that because, part of the reason that they're saying all this is, we're going to launch soon because we've got another thruster already. So whatever Sonic and Friends did in that last story didn't count.
I mean, I can believe that he would just send another one because, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's they probably delayed it rather than they stopped it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you could have been fooled by this because, you have the title and the fact that, Elson is drawing it and he's always the one that draws the most important shit, so.
Yeah.
Why does the editor's note here at the end say, "You guessed it, boomers"? This whole story never actually took place.
Boomers is what the editors usually refer to the readers of these comics are. You can actually see that in multiple places.
Well, I must have not noticed it till now.
Yeah, okay.
They usually refer to the writers as Humes, I think. And this is a thing in Sonic the Comic. I don't know if we have any of these stories in here because they're bonuses. They're like off panels that aren't related to anything. But they do portray the editor of these comics as Mega Droid, which is a Genesis-themed robot that edits the comics for them.
Huh.
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah, I just didn't know what that meant.
Yeah. Anywho, that is the end of the Sonic comics for today. So, big ups and downs this week, it felt like.
Yeah.
Nothing feeling quite as unnecessary as those Tales stories last time. And ironically, next time we'll get better Tales stories, in my opinion. So, we end on some nice foreshadowing for other stuff that will also happen next week. So, cool?
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. That is where we're going to cut it off for tonight. If you like this video, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, or feedback, you can reach us at any of the links in the link tree in the description. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next time, and take care.